Okay, good. Okay, I minimized the window so I could see my notes.
Right.
But this is just so that way I don't end up 3 hours off track.
Yeah. Oh, should we sync a clap so that when we sync the audio?
I was actually gonna suggest that earlier. I just didn't want to freak anybody out. But yeah, okay.
If you want to
Are you
try
gonna?
that,
We'll both clap.
we could go 3, 2, 1, clap.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, clap.
Oh, so I thought we were gonna do it on. Okay, let's say 3, 2. We'll do it your way. Okay, one more time.
Okay.
Sorry.
So after clap.
After clap.
Okay, yeah. 3, 2, 1, clap. Bam. Okay, ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, clap.
Nailed it.
Perfect. Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of the John Talks About Stuff podcast. I'm your host, John B., and today joining me on the show is a YouTuber on the rise. He started last year on YouTube where he talks about old cartoons and television shows, some that aren't very well known. The dude's got a PhD in obscure media. Joining me today is Mr. Pinata Time. Everybody, give him a clap. Pause for the sitcom applause. Pause for the applause. Okay, go ahead.
Howdy, I'm Pinata Time. I make videos about like you said, lesser known animation, VHS tapes, sometimes just random tech, just anything that comes to my mind that week.
Right, and I just watched a few of your videos the other day. You did a video where you showed off your entire Peanuts collection. I've never seen so many Peanuts tapes before.
Well, thank you. It's a nice compliment, and I cherish that Peanuts collection. Some of those specials you can't get on DVD, and they're just hard to find. So it's good to physically have them to preserve them.
Right, and one interesting thing that I didn't know was that gas stations apparently
Yeah.
they apparently promoted these tapes like a lot, and I had no idea about that.
Yeah, there were like 3 or 4 of them. There's like 2 Christmas specials and like a football special. And that football special, I don't think you can buy anywhere else except on those old gas station VHS tapes.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea about that. I also watched the one where you talked about the Larry Boy cartoon.
Yes. I grew up with those tapes, similar to you. I grew up with a lot of VeggieTales tapes, and I watched it a lot. And I know a lot of people in the veggie community loved that Larry Boy cartoon, even though it was less known to the more general audience. So I thought it would be kind of fun to bring that up.
Right. Yeah, there's probably a lot of people that don't even know that existed.
Yeah, they missed out.
I know. Yeah, I remember when it came out too, but that was because, like I've said before, I watched a lot of VeggieTales. So, I mean, when I saw the trailer for it, I was like, man, I've got to be there day one.
Same, yeah.
Right, I got to go to that Christian bookstore and pick up that tape.
Well, same in that I remember seeing the ads all the time. Like, they always advertised other big idea videos and products,
Yeah, I
Like,
remember the big cardboard stands that they had in the bookstores.
Oh, man,
too,
I've always wanted to see some of those. It's hard to find images even of them.
Oh, yeah, I know it. Yeah, it's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, I think it was actually on that Larry Boy tape. I think I made a joke about it. There's like a commercial for that Heroes of the Bible collection they made.
Oh, yeah.
Where they put that on DVD.
Yeah, and I remember they always had like a newsletter.
Yeah, they always tried to push their
Yeah.
Veggie Beat magazine or whatever it was called.
Man, I really wish, though, that I could have... I really wish I would have signed up for it now, just to have them. I remember... they did 2. I remember the first one was like... it was What's the Big Idea? I remember that one.
Yes, now I'm remembering that.
Yeah, What's the Big Idea? And then the second one was the super fantastic veggie fan club.
Something, whatever. With that super smooth announcer. That's right, Larry.
Oh, man, I know it. Can't get enough of that guy. If I'm not mistaken, he still does the commercials for him today, too, doesn't he?
For VeggieTales?
Is he? Yeah, isn't he the same guy that did the Christmas commercial?
Oh, I remember. Know. That's a good question.
Because I thought it sounded really familiar.
I'd have
to go back and
notice. Yeah, I'd have to go back and look at that.
I have to go back and check.
That's funny.
And then I watched your Garfield video where you showed off. I think it was the Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Did I have that right?
Yeah, I have 2 Garfield VHS reviews.
Yeah,
Which
I
I don't think
watched
any
the.
other human on this earth has ever said that sentence. I have 2 Garfield VHS reviews. So that should show you the sort of person I am.
Oh man, I remember I used to watch Garfield and Friends.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, that was one of those. That was one of those shows that that would come on if you just happened to stay up till 2 a.m.
Yeah, yeah, man.
And
Oh, I loved that show. I still do.
oh yeah, I think it was on Boomerang when I watched it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's what it
I think
was.
they still run it sometimes on Boomerang to this day, I think.
Really?
No, I never got Boomerang. I saw it through DVDs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's how I first saw it. Was I got one of the volumes
wow.
when I was a kid.
So were you like a big Garfield fan growing up?
Oh yeah, I loved him.
I remember what. So I guess I have to ask now. What did you think of the movie?
The live action movie?
Yeah.
You know, I remember thinking it was much better than people said. To be fair, I haven't seen it in a while. I think if I were to watch today, I would kind of feel the same way, but I wouldn't say it was like great. I'd just say it was better than people said it was.
I remember the first one probably. I don't think the first one was bad at all. At least the first one.
Yeah.
I remember watching the second one and it was fun to watch, but
Same.
you know,
like, I think I'd
it's
feel
been quite a while.
same. It's been forever since I've seen the second one, or if I think I've seen clips and pieces on TV. You know.
Oh yeah, and then of course the dozens of memes.
Oh yeah.
Just millions of memes on the internet.
lasagna cat. You know, there's some I don't know if they've canceled it, but I think they're making a new movie, but it's going to be like animated, I think.
Really?
Which is like good on them, good direction.
Yeah, that's probably the way to go with it.
Yeah.
So appropriately, we're here to talk about some of our favorite shows growing up, and some of them you never heard of, and the obsolete format that they were printed on.
Yeah.
Way back when, such as the VHS tape.
Yep, that is a big focus of my channel.
Oh yeah, and that was definitely the format I watched a lot of my cartoons on as a kid.
Same, you know, I grew up with so many older siblings that they just got handed down, passed down, you know.
Right, yeah.
My mom wasn't gonna throw them away if they still worked, you know. That was her thinking.
Oh yeah, well I mean that was your home videos back then. There wasn't a DVD or a phone or something. It was all on tape.
Yeah.
Man, like I said in the last one, you know, I grew up half my childhood on a tour bus because my parents were traveling musicians, and so I had my library of VHS tapes, and I remember every time, you know, we'd get back, you know, we would have like tubs, those storage tubs,
Yeah.
filled
Oh, yeah.
with VHS tapes, yeah.
You know, similar, and it was more the shelf. It was this magnum opus sort of. Is that the right word? It was this.
Yeah, I think so.
this shelf that was low enough to the ground and had 2 doors, so kids like us, you know, when we were really young, we could reach it, and we'd open it up.
Right.
And our mom refused to keep the VHS boxes because we'd always swap them for other ones, and she could never find the right video. So you'd open this thing, it would just be a giant pile of you know, black tapes stacked on top of each other, excepting the few orange and green tapes mixed in there.
Oh yeah.
So,
well, you knew what those were.
Yeah, it was either Blue's Clues or VeggieTales.
Exactly. Or the Rugrats movie. Or
yeah, the
something.
Rugrats in Paris. Yeah. We had that.
See, I think I had a SpongeBob. Maybe it was orange. The SpongeBob tape.
I think Guard on Duty. Some copies of that were orange.
Really?
Yeah. Did you have that one?
Let me see here. I know if I saw the covers,
right,
I would be able to tell you.
It's the one where he's at like the beach with the sunglasses. He's like, it's based on the lifeguard episode.
Yeah, I think I had the one where the nematodes ate his house. I had that one.
Right, Home Sweet Pineapple.
Yeah, Home Sweet Pineapple.
Yeah.
And what was this one called? This one was called like, it was another one. It was called like Absorbent Sea Stories.
Absorbent Adventures or something.
Yeah, and it had like a million SpongeBob's on the on the cover. Yeah,
again,
and it had like
similar.
Yeah, it had like the sponge who could fly.
Right,
I believe it had that one.
Yeah, I had that one. The one with Sponge Who Could Fly. Yeah, I think that was just called Sponge Who Could Fly. That particular tape.
Yeah,
but I had that one, and then I forgot what it was called, but it's the one with Fun in it. The episode Fun.
Oh yeah. And then I had the movie, the first movie.
We had that on DVD.
Did you?
Yeah, we updated. At that point, my family was more buying DVDs.
Or no, I take it back. We rented it on VHS. And then that's right, that's also an obsolete
right, that idea
form of getting your movies. Yeah,
well, we
at least
still use Redbox sometimes.
we still have Redbox. Yeah, we but now you can just rent a movie like right from your living room,
Yeah,
and just it can just show up on the TV like on Amazon or something.
yeah, it's true. It's it's funny. I remember mentioning something along the lines of just how so few younger people, and by younger I mean like married people who are like in their like your age, I guess. I don't know.
Right.
How so few of them still have a DVD player, and my mom was just really surprised. She's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, so few of them bother to carry DVD players."
Oh yeah, well my oldest sister, her and my brother-in-law, they don't even have a DVD player.
Yeah, it's getting to that point, which I like DVDs. I still,
Oh yeah, I mean, of course. I remember I remember I was telling you back during the Christmas season, I was shopping for my littlest niece. And I remember she told me and my wife, she was like, I want Veggie Tale stuff. And I was like, well, perfect. There's a Christmas movie that just came out. We can get her that. And then my wife was like, yeah, but John, is she going to even know what to do with that thing?
Yeah, it's
And I was like, she's probably going to look at it and just kind of be like, oh, cool, a picture.
right. A circular
picture with a Frisbee in it.
Yeah.
A little box with a nice picture on it and a Frisbee on the inside.
Right, she'll just be like, oh, this is a great picture. Oh, there's a hole in it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I was like, man, that's really sad. It's sad that like if you want to gift a movie to a child,
I was thinking the same thing.
The best thing to do is to just give them a digitally gift
Amazon,
it on Amazon or something.
Yeah. Because one of my siblings' birthday a while back was, I remember thinking this, not a while back, how I needed to find something for him, and I couldn't couldn't get a DVD.
Oh yeah, I know it. It's wild how fast everything is moving.
Yeah, it is. It's funny.
And now I'm just wondering, what's the next step past digital?
I don't. I mean,
where do you go from there?
I would say this is where we're landing, but I'm sure people said the same about DVDs. Like this is gonna be
exactly.
it, so
yeah.
Who knows?
Well, I just found out the other day, and I don't know too much about it. I'll have to like search into it.
Yeah.
But I heard the other day that there were commercially released they were titled HD VHS tapes.
Oh yeah.
I don't know a whole lot about those, but I was just like, that's funny because I bet people were like, well, this is it. This is the future. This is where we're landing.
They
and then
came out, I want to say, in 2003, so it was right before Blu-ray came out.
Right.
And so they were trying to people wanted HD movies at home, and this was like the first sort of format to do that, or at least an early format to do that. And it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's a VHS tape, but it's a different sort of film and a reader, so it's HD.
Right. Yeah, I remember my dad, he was showing me when they were doing like, promotional videos and studio recordings. There's a particular type of VHS tape that they used called a Super V. A Super VHS.
Sounds familiar.
And that was like the next step up above a regular VHS tape. And it even required a special player to play them. If you tried to play it on a regular one, it would show up like the picture would just be completely like scrambled.
Fuzzy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah, I was telling you we had that event going on at our church where we were showing a lot of old videos, and I was having to figure out how to
move them over.
Yeah, how to make them digital.
I still suggest the Elgato. I think that's,
Oh yeah, well the thing was I didn't even know it existed at the time.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, great. And so I was having to use this just painful process of using a DVD recorder, and I would record the VHS on a DVD, and then I would have to take that. First of all, I didn't have a remote to the DVD recorder, and so I couldn't hit stop recording and finalize. So instead, I would have to let it max out the DVD, And that would be like, it could be like a 2-hour disc. So I'd have to
Yeah.
sit there and wait for 2 hours, even if the VHS was only like, 30 minutes. And so I would try to find a VHS of similar length, and see if I could record them both.
How'd you
But
even
anyways, I'd have to
format
wait.
the DVD without the remote?
Well, the DVD recorder had this thing where as soon as
Oh,
it
it
maxed
auto
out,
did it?
it would it would
Got
automatically
it.
finalize. So I had to wait for that. And then I would have to wait like another, 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how slow my computer wanted to be at the time. I would have to let it rip in the DVD, and then I would have to export that. I'd have to put that in like Premiere Pro or something and upscale it to 1080, which was the required format our computer at the church had to have it in.
Yeah.
And so that would take a while. And then I would have to have something to store the files and transfer them.
Oy.
And yeah, man, it was a process. But
Man.
I remember it took forever to get a Super V player, because we were like, well, who in the world is even going to know what
Who
that
owns
is?
one
I
of
doubt,
those? Yeah.
Right. I was like, I doubt just random people that was a household item, like a
Right.
VHS player. And but we finally got our hands on one, and we were able to record it. Somebody that used to work with my parents actually had one, and he let us use
Great.
it.
It's funny.
Yeah, and he just happened to be, he owns a studio.
Right.
And like studios were the only places that had them.
Yeah.
Hi, this is text-to-speech man. I'm here when John needs to make a correction or an interruption. Right here, John and Pinata Time took a quick break.
Okay, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I was
Cool.
took a water break.
With your trusty water bottle?
I brought water bottle with me. He's here, guys. Don't worry, he's here. I know.
Get a little applaud for that.
Give water bottle an applause. I know everybody, and I know all the listeners were worried if he was gonna make an appearance or not. But don't worry, he's here.
He's gonna be in every podcast.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be here every time in every live stream. He's gonna be
The
there.
famous.
Don't worry.
Water bottle.
If we,
I'm starting to think that water bottle's more famous than you.
I know, man. I mean, we got some competition going
Or
on here.
me. He's more famous than anyone, really.
There's like a competition going on here. It seems like everybody knows about him. Everybody knows about him.
It's gonna like boil up to this jealous rage. You're gonna be like, "You're nothing without me, water bottle."
How has water become more popular than us?
Right.
How come it is that every household knows about water, but not about John B.
But
and
not
Pinata
us.
Time yet?
Yeah.
Soon.
We'll take over the world. We're telling villains now. We're gonna destroy the world with our critiques on videotapes.
Soon the whole world will own a VCR. Oh man. Where were we?
I have no. We were talking about movie videotapes. Over.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember. Oh yeah, we were talking the other day about how I remember I mentioned in the last podcast that I had watched Toy Story until the tape broke. I had rewatched it so much until it got up to the what did I say? It got up to the part where they lit the rocket and they were about to fly, and it was the big dramatic scene about it. This isn't flying, it's falling with style. And right when it gets up to this big dramatic part, the tape just explodes in the VCR or whatever. It just stops.
Funny.
Yeah, and I was like, well, great. So I had to get
Now what?
Yeah, I had to get a replacement. Unfortunately, that was the only draw to VCRs back then, at the time, was that they were susceptible
Oh yeah, absolutely.
to just falling apart.
Especially in like at least for me, not that this is the same as you, but I also watched a lot of my shows as I mentioned to you the other day, watched a lot of my shows in a moving vehicle because a youngest sibling, and we had a real van.
Oh yeah.
With a TV VCR in it, not a minivan, a real van.
Oh yeah.
And so anytime older brother has to go to X class or whatever, I just get tagged along. So I watched a lot of these shows there too. So especially in heat, man, VHS tapes sometimes they.
Oh yeah, no, they
sticky,
did not last in heat.
No, and so I had. If anyone knows what this is, this could deserve a video of its own, being obscure VHS tape. But Dodo Island, which was a old show that came with a Play-Doh playset. and
Wow.
I loved it. And I still have it, but it ate the film at the beginning, and I still have that tape. It still works.
So you managed to save it?
Yeah, it was saved, but the beginning of it's a little crunchy.
Well, that's good. Unfortunately, I can't say the same thing about Toy Story.
Your 4 copies of
Yeah,
Toy
all
Story.
my, all my millions of copies of Toy Story. Oh, man.
You were the thing keeping that film alive in the marketplace.
I really was. I probably paid Pixar's light bill at the time. I probably
Right,
did.
yeah.
Which is funny because I was telling my wife not too long ago, I was like, it's kind of weird. I don't own any like HD copy of Toy Story. I had so many tapes, but past like one DVD I got for Christmas I think it was the 10th anniversary DVD.
Right.
I didn't have like any other like copies of that movie. I thought that was kind of weird. So
Because once you own the DVD, you rarely need to replace a DVD.
right, yeah. I just I found it funny. I was like, I've got the tape copy, I've got the DVD, but I didn't have any HD ones. I didn't have like a Blu-ray something.
Do you still have a tape copy, like the last tape copy you bought?
Actually, I do. I was actually about to say
that's
I don't
funny.
know where. Now I don't have the exact same ones that I've talked about in these stories.
Right, but the last one you bought before going to a DVD.
The last one I ever oh well no I don't have the last one I got before I got a DVD. Funny thing is one day it was for Christmas. I was trying to remember when it was. It was for Christmas of however many years ago. Anyways, my parents they got me I don't know where I had never seen it before. I didn't even know it existed. But my parents got me this. I'm trying to read the title here and keep my voice in the mic. It's it's some sort of like press kit copy of the movie.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was the special edition tape. It was some sort of collector's edition. It comes in this big silver box.
Cardboard. Right, I think I've seen.
Yeah, and you
images
can
of that online.
pull it out, and it's got like a book full of concept art. It's got a book full of like 3D, like because CG was that was the biggest.
Cat's pajamas.
Yeah, that was the big draw to the film. That was the big deal about it. It was it was the first fully CG film. So there's all these like HD, for the time anyways, screens of the film. Like some of their best shots.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool, and it comes with a VHS copy of the movie, and so that's the last one I've received, and the only one I have right now, I think, VCR copy of it.
That's cool though.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty neat. Oh, also, talking about obscure formats of movies, one of them that I own of Toy Story is a Laserdisc copy of the film. If anyone knows what that is.
Right, I own 2 Laserdiscs.
Really?
But I don't have a player. I still want a player.
Yeah, I don't have a player either.
If viewers of mine might not be surprised by the title or the titles I own, but the 2 titles I have are they're both Schoolhouse Rock Laserdiscs.
Really? That's so cool.
Which maybe they're not anymore, but at the time I picked them up, I considered them quite rare. I'm not sure if they really were, but they were kind of hard to come across.
Yeah, I don't know how rare this Laserdisc copy of the film is, but yeah, admittedly, I didn't even know what a Laserdisc was when I got it.
Right, yeah.
I didn't even know what that was. At first, I looked at it and I said, until I saw where it said Laserdisc, I was like, "Oh, cool! Is this some soundtrack that I didn't know about, like a vinyl record or something?" And then I pulled it out of the case and it said Laserdisc, and I was like, "I don't know what this is." It said, "But I must have it because it's $1."
Have you ever heard of Selectavision?
Oh boy, I have not.
It's pretty much
Enlighten me.
Like, it's similar to a Laserdisc, except it's actually like a record, but it's still video.
Really?
They failed miserably. It pretty much brought the company to bankruptcy, but it's a very interesting story. You can look them up. The very first title, or at least the title to generally be recorded as the first title to be released on the Selectavision, was actually Race for Your Life, Charlie Brown.
Really?
Yeah, so that's a fun fact. But anyway, if you look them up, they come in these caddies. You push them in the machine, and then you take them out, and they're pretty much records, but they're movies.
Wow. I knew nothing about that.
Yeah.
I thought it was I thought, I was like, well, how inconvenient. Why would I want the Laserdisc when I could use the VHS tape? Because I saw on the Laserdisc how, just like a record, when it gets up to a certain point of the film, you got to take it out and flip it over to the other side and put it back in.
Yeah, same with Selectavision. But yeah, you have to always. But it's superior quality to VHS.
I was about to ask. So is it
supposedly.
so it looks better than a VHS?
Laserdisc, that is.
Yeah.
The Selectavision's kind of similar, I guess, maybe, to a VHS or similar. Laserdisc, based on the quality of the Laserdisc and the transfer, it looks pretty okay.
Really?
They're not too much better, but they're definitely better than VHS.
So how hard is one of these players to find? Because now I'm intrigued.
Those, not as common. The problem with those is that because it's a player, if you want to order them online, you got to pay a pretty penny just for the heaviness of them, you know?
Wow.
So it's more, at least to me, it's more cost effective just to find it in like a thrift store, which isn't as common.
Yeah, no, there was this box full of, maybe I should have picked up the other ones, but they had it was just a box full of classic Disney movies, and they were all Laserdisc.
Wow.
And
did you buy this, you said?
I did not buy the set. That's what I was saying. Maybe I should have bought the box, but I mean, they were only $1 or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
the whole
it was
box or each?
or no, each one was about $1.
Got it.
But I mean, there was only there was only 10 of them, so I mean, $10 could have had a Disney collection on Laserdisc.
Right, yeah.
But I mean, when I picked it up though, like I said, I thought it was a record. And so I just walked around the store thinking it was a record until I looked at it and said, no, wait, what is this?
Where did you find it?
It was just at a flea market.
Yeah, I hope to find a Laserdisc one day. Player.
Oh yeah, me too.
One day.
Because I'm kind of curious to just see it in motion. Then I got to wondering. I was like, I wonder if it displays on the screen. Swap it over to the other side or something.
Oh,
or if it just abruptly stops. Yeah.
No, it's based on the player you have. Certain players you have to get up and flip them. And
Oh,
certain
so some
players
players
have two
will.
lasers.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. Well, never mind.
Yeah,
Then maybe
it's neat.
So maybe it's not as inconvenient as I thought it was.
If you got one with a double side play, then no,
So
it shouldn't be.
So that
but
was a double-headed VCR at the time, right?
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I remember.
And certain players, in fact, would combine. You know those old CD players that were like 5 discs changer.
Right. Yeah.
They would combine both of them.
What?
You could have a 5-disc changer, but if you took all 5 discs out, you could put the laser disc there and hook it up to your TV.
Wow, that's really cool.
That wasn't as common, but that was also another a player you could buy.
That's pretty cool. Well, now I know more about Laserdiscs than I did 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I got to see if I can find a player.
Yeah, it's they're fun to play around with. I'd imagine. Again, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't even know what one was. I didn't even know what one was until I bought it. My dad was like, "Yeah, that's a Laserdisc." I was like, "Yeah, of course it is."
Yeah, they're not, like I said, they're not super common to come across, but when you do, if the price is right, it's good.
Oh yeah.
Well, if we're still talking about childhood stuff, I know we just touched on this, but Garfield, like I said, definitely grew up with Garfield, and I recently watched Garfield in Paradise, which was a different special. That, again, another thing that could definitely deserve a VHS review, since I also have it on VHS. That is I forgot how good that one was. That one really holds up. It's really funny.
I gotta. It makes me want to watch more Garfield stuff because I only ever watched. I watched Garfield and Friends, and then I watched the 2 movies. Or were there 3, or was there just 2?
There were 2.
Oh, okay, yeah. And, or go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, someone's texting me. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're okay.
I had to reply. No, what I was saying was, if you do ever check out the specials, definitely check out. I would suggest the first one. It's not bad. Garfield in Paradise. It's probably an okay one to start with.
I'll have to check it out.
Am I cool to ramble on? Were you gonna say something?
Go ahead. No, I said I'll have to check it out. Go ahead.
It's about him and the gang going to a beach and getting lost in this old sort of how would you describe it? Why is this blanking on me? Tribe, this old tribe, except the tribe, instead of being actually scary, they're based in the 50s. That was the last thing they ever saw was 50s culture. So they all act kind of like Elvis in the ways, and doo-wop and stuff.
This is way wackier than I expected from
It's
Garfield.
really funny. But then they have to throw a car in a volcano to appease the gods. It's like,
What?
this is ridiculous, you know?
Oh man, no, looks like I've got to see that because I've only seen the show and the two movies, and then I remember, wasn't there like a modern cartoon? It was CG.
Yeah,
Well,
the Garfield show.
yeah, I think I saw like 2 episodes of that with like my nieces or something.
I remember thinking the writing was okay because it was a lot of the same writers from the old show, but the animation itself was really pretty phoned in CGI.
Yeah, just kind of that wasn't where all the budget went, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, something I've noticed in a lot of CG shows, like ones that don't, just get kickstarted with a huge budget, I've noticed that if those shows get the chance to keep going, if they get enough popularity, by like the second season, those shows season 2 usually looks way better than season 1, like in CG shows.
Yeah,
Like
they are an improvement. TV.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, TV shows, CGI shows are really hard to do just because the budget's rarely there for it to look great. So if it does really well, usually it gets bumped up.
You mentioned last time we were talking, you mentioned Superbook, and I was talking about the new ones. The new ones that are all CG.
Yeah.
And I remember when I saw it, I saw some of season 1, and I was like, well, this is pretty good. But then I saw season 2, and they really improved the animation in season 2, and especially, and it's just one of those shows that it just, as far as the way it looks, it got better and better up until the last episode. Like I watched the last one, and the last one looks better than any of them that came before it.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I never checked out the new one. I barely even saw the old one, but that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed with that because I really appreciated how they strive to improve it as they kept going.
And that's good.
Brace yourselves for some dog barking for a minute. We might take a pause right here.
They did. And then they started talking about food and grandma's house or something.
And I remember every time I went to my grandmother's house when I was a kid, one thing I remember the most at visits at her house was just eating too much.
Right. I had this my grandma, I remember going there once, and I'm looking around the fridge, and I'm like, you have Klondike bars? She's like, yeah, I don't know why I bought those. You can have them. I'm like, yes.
I know. Every time you go to a grandmother's house, it's like, hey, I bought this pack of brownies. You want every one of them in the box? Well, of course, a kid isn't gonna say no.
Yeah, exactly. And my other grandma, I remember she one time I went there, right, and I brought this bag of cheese puffs, and I still love those, but at the time, I ate the whole bag. And so the next time I came, she's like, I bought you a bunch of cheese puffs because I know you like them so much. I'm like, this is how I'm gonna go down in history with her, is the cheese puff boy.
Yeah, I remember just eating so much to the point I'd get sick. I'd just eat so much.
It was always extreme.
Yeah, because grandmother's always it was like, oh,
you need more.
Yeah, you haven't eaten enough. You're so skinny. Eat more.
Exactly.
It's like, Grandma, I just had a whole red velvet cake, 3 sandwiches, and a pizza. Nope.
Except with me, it was like, ooh, you're fat, but here, have more anyway. It's like, okay, great.
There's no wonder now why I was chubby. In my when I was 10, there's just
right. Yeah, same. Oh my gosh.
There's no wondering now because we can just blame Grandma now.
Right. Yeah. Let's just do that. Let's blame our loved ones for our faults. That's
It wasn't our fault.
You're not. Are you including this in the podcast?
I don't know. I thought about it.
Yeah. And if we're going back to topic.
Going back on topic.
I had, like I said, I watched a majority of VeggieTales VHS tapes in our car, and I remember, did you ever have a VHS? It has a name. I forgot what it's called, but did you ever have a VHS that had that weird zigzag thing at the top?
The weird zigzag thing at the top.
I can't describe it, but it's kind of like, imagine the image. The image looks completely fine, except the tiny bit at the top where it kind of zoofs to a side, like zags.
This was a
completely to a
VeggieTales
side.
tape?
I had a VeggieTales tape that was damaged like that. A lot of tapes can get
Oh,
that
are you
sometimes.
talking about the tape itself or the box?
The tape.
The tape.
film.
Okay, I was thinking of box
The
art,
actual
and I was
show.
like, I don't
No.
remember.
No, it has an actual term, but there's sometimes tapes can get this sort of zag line at the top. I can't describe it, but it's like the whole screen looks fine
Oh,
except the
right,
top,
right,
where it
yeah,
kinda
okay.
completely shifts to a side.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah,
Right.
I don't know what it's called
Where's
either.
God? Yeah, I don't know what that's called, but Where's God When I'm Scared? My copy of that had that. I remember.
Oh man,
every
yeah,
time watching it.
I bet. Yeah, man, I watched those so many times. I remember telling you last time we were talking. I remember when I got the Star of Christmas, like right out of the box, like it was brand new.
Right.
Yeah, and it got up to
The
that.
giant clamshell green monster box. that
Yes,
came
it's beautiful.
in.
Well, that's how you knew it was a big deal, is when they had the
Mhm.
clamshell boxes.
45-minute special, baby.
Exactly. Like I was saying, I remember on the Star of Christmas, I got up to that point.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, where Bob was like, I just want to teach London to love. Well, he gets like right up like mid sentence, and he's like, I just want to teach London to, and like the tape just stops, and I was like,
excuse you, Bob.
yeah, I know, and I was like, what happened? And then when I eject the tape, per the norm, when this kind of stuff happens, the player ate the tape. So when I like, easy worked with it out, the film broke. But it was in that one spot. So this has happened multiple times on other tapes. Sadly, I don't think we could do it on Toy Story. I don't think it worked. But I remember giving it to my dad, and he would get like clear Scotch tape, and he would tape the film together, and the rest of the film would play. But when it got up to that part, he'd be like, I just want to teach London to is that so much? I was like, that's well, funny. At least I know what happens.
Yeah, my parents, if a tape ate, if they just couldn't get it out and back into one piece, they just kind of threw it away.
Right.
There was no taping. Sometimes I do that now if something like that happens, but yeah. Do you know what Schoolhouse Rock is?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that was our Toy Story. America Rock was
really
just every copy was just destroyed.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it shows that you were a big fan of it.
Yeah, it was funny though. That was like before my time. That was my older brother's. I didn't have a copy of it as a kid.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Until like later, Which
VeggieTales technically was before our time too, like when it started.
Yeah, but those lived. I got to watch those when I
yeah, well they re-released them about the time we came around. They re-released them on the purple. Where's God When I'm Scared came out on the purple box. Yeah.
DVD. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I first got that one too. It was a children's church pastor that actually gave it to me. At this church we were going to, I was like really shy at the time for some reason. Like I typically wasn't a shy kid, but for some reason in that children's church, I was just really shy. And they were all like playing games. They were like, we all went down to the gym and they were playing like Duck Duck Goose, and they were like, John, you want to join us? And I was like, can I just like watch a movie or something? And he was like, okay. And he played it, and I remember really enjoying the Daniel and the Lion's Den segment.
Yeah,
and
that's still my favorite episode, I think.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's one of my favorites too.
It's up there.
Well, it obviously is because I recited the whole first.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So obviously it's one of my favorites. But
yeah, our church had a lot of those,
he bought me the video, and that was really cool.
That's nice. I remember our church had a lot of the Veggie Tapes, and like Little Bear, I think too.
Little Bear.
Yeah, now that's Christian,
I remember that
in the kids' library,
I remember Little Bear.
Yeah, I don't. I remember his existence.
It was like one of them things just way in the back of your mind.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, oh yeah, those existed. They were also orange, probably, because Nickelodeon.
Right, yeah. Did you watch Franklin? Do you remember Franklin, the turtle?
I remember it, now that you say it.
And you said Little Bear, that reminded me of it, Franklin.
Right.
I used to like Franklin.
It's about the same. I remember the theme song, the Hey, it's Franklin.
Oh, you see, the thing is you remembered the theme song. I just remembered the turtle.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I didn't remember the theme
vague
song.
Memories of it.
I just remember the character, Franklin.
He was like, come over and play. Hey, it's Franklin.
Well, now I'll have to go back and listen to it because I didn't even
Same.
remember
I'm like,
a bar of that.
Now that you've jogged this memory, I want to see if I'm right about
now
this.
I gotta go back and watch some of it.
thinking of something else entirely now, right?
Right. Speaking of a Christian show, like we were talking about, did you remember JJ the Jet Plane? Did you ever watch that?
Yeah, but I didn't have. I was gonna bring this up to you actually. I didn't have the Christian versions. I had the generic
Really?
PBS, version. Yeah.
Yeah, this was actually a funny story because just recently, that show just kind of came back to my memory, and I was like, yeah, I thought that was a Christian show. I was like, I remember it airing on maybe it was TBN or something.
It matters which episodes you had. Was it a Christian show or not?
Yeah, and I even had the tape of the Christian episodes, but I didn't know there was a difference. I thought that just meant it was a Christian show, and
No.
yeah, and then it turns out the guy who made the show just said this would work as a Christian show, and then made it a Christian show after it had already come out.
Yeah, it's funny. I had I remember too. I think the tape I had of it was I want to say it was like a bargain bin tape when they were going to stop selling tapes, and they were all
right. Yeah.
Like super cheap in bargain bins, like 2004.
Yeah.
Whatever year,
Yeah, that was the one I grew up with, was a Christian one. But I remember when I Googled, was JJ the Jet Plane, and then as soon as you hit space, was it a Christian show or not? That was the most Googled thing about that show.
And I didn't know that till way later either. I only grew up with the not Christian version.
Right.
I assumed it wasn't for a while,
Yeah, I mean it was wild because I was like, what is going on? I was like, what are you talking about?
It's like the Berenstain Bears alternate universe.
Right, yeah.
Like some people remember, I swear they talked about the Bible.
Yeah, right. What was the other show I was gonna bring up?
I watched Hermie a lot.
Yeah, I remember Hermie.
Or Wormy or whatever his name was.
Yeah. I remember it. You see, now that was like Franklin. I remember it and I've seen it, but I don't really remember anything about the show.
Oh, I remember lots of details about it. That was one that I watched a lot too.
I remember JJ the Jet Plane looking more appealing when I was a kid.
They're so ugly.
Because if you watch it today, it's like, yeah, I mean, I guess as a kid, we were we didn't really think much about it.
Yeah, but now, they're gross, human faces, molded onto these weird planes. Ugh.
Yeah, and the way their faces would stretch out, and,
yeah, I
move
kind of
around.
feel the same way about Thomas now.
Thomas the Train, yeah.
Where I look at him, I'm like, how did I ever watch this?
I know. I can't take that show seriously anymore, because nobody really talks much. And it's just the narrator, and they'll be Thomas the Train was really mad. Or, Thomas the Tank Engine was very upset by this, and then he just makes an upset face and drives off.
Yeah, that's it.
I was like,
it's funny.
Okay, I can't anymore.
This might be a little after your time, because even though we're close in age, I think you're a little older.
Okay.
But did you ever watch Wow Wow Wubsy?
Yes, I watched that with my oldest niece.
Okay, that was my jam as a kid.
Wow Wow Wubsy? That was a cute show. That was the thing
I watched all the time. And watching it now, I'm even like, wow, this is really boring. Why did I like this?
I just remember
even compared to other preschooler shows, this is kind of boring.
I remember it being really cute. That's what I remember. Yeah, I was just like, Wubsy. That's pretty much it. I mean, just the name Wubsy. That's really cute, and you can't get by that.
And that one kid kept saying, "That's kooky."
You can't say the word Wubsy in the most and not sound. It's and not sound happy. It's it's like Bubble. You can't say that manly. You just Wubsy, Wubsy. You can't do it and be serious.
It's true.
Bubble. You just can't do it.
Yeah, but no, that was the show I watched along with some of those other shows a lot.
Now, one that I watched a lot in the mornings eating SpaghettiOs was Oswald. The big octopus dude.
I really remember that.
Do you remember that with his wiener dog?
One of those shows that I know, just like Franklin. I know of it, but I couldn't tell you much about it.
It would come on after Little Bill or something.
Yeah, I was about to bring that show up, which I didn't.
Really?
Which one of those shows where now it's hard to bring it up, but I remember liking that.
Right. Yeah, I enjoyed it too. I specifically remember the episode of him singing with the church choir, "This Little Light of Mine." I remember that one.
That's funny. I just remember the art style was like this sort of like
Yeah, it was a very
human thing.
Yeah, it was a really unique art style for the time, especially.
A lot of kids shows kind of copied it though. If you looked at like, I realized this. If you look at like mid 2000s stuff, it was very similar to that.
Yeah, copied it, but either made it creepier or
Yeah,
like
Angela and what was that show, like Angela?
I was
something,
about
with the
to say, yes, Angela Anaconda. My wife brought that show up to me when I was actually typing down the obscure shows for the game.
Yeah, that is a
and
weird looking show.
yeah, I mean, I just pulled it up and went, oh, it's ugly.
It's so weird looking.
Yeah, I remember seeing it too, but like I remember not being able to watch it. Like I couldn't bring myself to watch it as a kid. I was like, this
Right.
is so gross looking. I can't.
I never saw it, but similar to a lot of these other shows, I just heard about it later on through
Right.
looking for obscure media. So I know of it.
Yeah.
But, and it's ugly, horrifying, black and white, like
Yeah.
gross creatures.
Yeah, I can't even with that show.
Yeah, it's really something.
Yeah, man.
Because that was originally part of Kablam, right?
Oh boy, I don't know. You see, like that's way back there.
Yeah.
But you know, honestly, this whole conversation has just jogged my memory like big time on these old shows. Like I haven't thought
Yeah.
of Oswald in a little bit.
I hope other people have this sort of, where they're like, oh yeah, JJ. Or,
Oh, I'm sure.
Oswald, Wubsy.
Especially if they're our age.
Yeah.
But this podcast has also made me feel really old, and I'm just in my early 20s. Like, how
Same.
can I'm not supposed to
know-
feel old yet?
My sister brought up the fact that some little kids don't know about Hannah Montana.
Yeah, I know.
That's
they're like,
weird.
they know who Miley Cyrus is now, but they didn't know who
But
she
they
was
don't
back
know who
then.
Hannah Montana was. Yeah, it's weird. That was such a cultural, pop culture thing.
Oh,
when we were
man.
kids.
Oh,
That's
man,
so weird to
It
not
was
know what
everywhere.
Hannah Montana is. Yeah.
Man, Hannah Montana was everywhere. Me and all the other like boys in the children's church, we all had this huge crush on Hannah Montana, so we had her albums and things.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I watch the show all the time.
We just went back and watched The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Right.
Yeah, that was a good show.
I really wanna. I never saw this as a kid, but I kind of want to watch Smart House.
Yeah, we actually just recently watched Smart House, and it was a lot creepier than I remember it being.
Yeah, the mom was like took over their lives.
Yeah,
It was really weird.
Oh, that was weird. Like the house, there's this one scene, to put it in perspective. There's this one scene that even today I was just like, this scene just gives me weird vibes. This is really weird. It's this one where like is this one scene where the kids are throwing a party. I'm trying to remember it correctly, but there's this like bully who came to the party.
Right.
And
yeah.
the house invites the bully just to bully
Just
the bully.
to bully him. Yeah.
And it sends this like holographic like skull like chasing him, and it like tries to strike it with electricity, strike the little kid with electricity, and I was like, this is getting weird.
And she'd like, I do, and she got like really mad. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and it's a little unsettling to watch, especially in a day where these personal assistants for like your phones
Alexas
and
whatnot.
and Google Homes and Siri, in this age where those things are everywhere, and so, I was like, I like watched that film, and then I kind of like looked over at my phone and just kind of pushed it a little.
Right, turned it off.
Yeah. So, like we've talked about before, you specialize in obscure media.
Yeah. I'm very. I'd like to think I'm pretty familiar with 80s to kind of present animation.
Okay. So, now that we've talked about some of our favorite obscure ones, or just, some old ones that we grew up with, I'm going to put your knowledge to the test today.
I'm excited.
We're going to put that to the test. We're going to see if you even deserved that PhD in obscure media.
Obscure knowledge.
Right.
Yeah, let's see. I specialize in obscure animation in college.
Right. What'd you minor in?
Obscure media.
Oh.
or obscure physical media, right? So obscure tapes and such.
Right. Okay.
There you
Okay.
go. We'll go with that.
That's like on another veggie reference. The part always made me laugh. Bob asked Junior, he's like, didn't you minor in space technology at the Happy Tots preschool?
Yeah.
It's like, well, why? Yes, I did. And then Larry's like, well, what did you major in? Play-Doh.
Play-Doh.
Yeah. Me too.
Play-Doh. Me too.
So,
That's funny.
So we're gonna play a game. We're gonna play a game. So what's gonna happen is, yeah. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna name some obscure shows, and see if you can tell me at least 4 things about them.
Okay.
So you got to tell me at least 4 things
I am up for that show.
about these shows. So here's some rules. You can get a maximum of 4 points for each show. To earn these points, like we said, you have to tell me at least 4 things about the show, and that can be anything from a character, a location or setting, a plot point, or something about the creators, the company, anything like that.
So if I get 2 things about a show, I get 2 points? Is that
Right.
the idea?
Yep, you get a point for each thing you tell me about the show.
Got it.
To pass, you need at least 30 points.
Ooh,
we
got a lot of shows, though.
Yep, we have 12 shows.
Nice.
For a maximum score of 48 points.
Nice. I'm excited.
Alrighty. And so I'm going to start out with some easier shows.
Right.
And I'm going to at least try to make them more and more difficult as we move on.
Okay. I'm really excited, man.
Alrighty.
This is my sort of game.
Oh, right. Also, you'll be timed. You'll be timed for each show.
Okay. Are you gonna time on your end?
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna time it. So to keep things rolling, let's see here. let me get my timer.
No worries. How much time do I get?
You see, that was something I actually meant to determine earlier, and I forgot. So how about a minute?
That sounds good.
How about a minute? Okay. You see, just like I said before, just like I've heard a company say before, I am more professional now than I was 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Or something like that.
I'm gonna prove my knowledge and ability in this.
Yes. Oh, and you cannot Google anything. Now I can't see if you're Googling anything, but I'm just gonna have to take your word for it.
Here, I'm quitting Safari. It's been quitted.
Okay. Just don't quit Skype.
Right. Whoops. Click. Yeah, that's right, folks. Okay. We're talking over Skype because it's 2008 again.
Right. In 2020, we're using Skype, guys.
Yeah.
We're still showing our age. This whole podcast has been John and Pinata Time Show Their Age, the podcast.
That's funny. That's the title of the episode.
Okay. So quick recap. You get a point for each thing you tell me about the show. You can get a maximum 4 points for each show. You need 30 points to pass. We have 12 shows. The highest score you can get is 48. And you have a minute to tell me 4 things about these shows.
I'm ready.
Alrighty. Let the games begin.
Ding, ding. It's showtime.
It's showtime.
I love how even something like that, we know what we're talking about.
I know. I knew exactly what you... I immediately saw the P. It's showtime.
Yeah.
And then the boxing... do you have your boxing gloves out?
Right, yeah, I'll pull those out now. I'll be strong bad. How do I type with boxing gloves on?
Oh, man. Okay. So, first show. I'm just going to say the titles. I'm not going to give you any information about them.
And then you hit the timer?
Yep, and then I'll hit the timer.
Okay.
Alrighty. Let me get my windows ready. Let me get all my windows ready.
No worries.
Alrighty. I've got a scorecard set up, too. Okay, here we go. First show. Snorks. Go.
It was similar to the Smurfs. It was made by Hanna-Barbera. It came out in the 80s. It had to do with these sea creatures that had weird things on their heads.
Stop.
Was that 4?
That's 4 things.
Cool.
Fun fact about the show. It was made to compete with the Smurfs.
Oh.
I found that out. I was looking up a little bit of each show that I pulled up. And I knew it was similar to the Smurfs, but But yeah, it turns out it was actually made to directly compete with the Smurfs.
Even as I said, I'm like, I hope that counts. I hope that counts as a point because I'm not sure if it is that similar.
No, I counted it because that's actually a fact about the show. It was like
That's
made to
funny.
compete with it.
That's perfect, man. It was made by Hanna-Barbera, right?
Yeah, it was a Hanna-Barbera cartoon.
Who
Yeah,
also
you got it
made
right.
the Smurfs, so that's funny.
Right, yeah. It was apparently made by let me see here. I don't have the story like, 100%,
Right.
but it's something about how the guy wanted the Smurfs cartoon to be a certain way. The guy who made the Snorks, he wanted it to go a certain way, but the other guy or
Right,
Hanna-Barbera,
other
whoever it
creators,
was, they
yeah.
wanted it to go a different direction to be more
More
marketable.
marketable. Yeah.
Right, and
That
then
sounds
so
right.
that guy was like, "Okay, forget you. I'm gonna make my own show," and he made
Yeah.
the Snorks. Yeah,
That's funny.
I remember that was another show too. I watched early in the mornings a lot.
I never saw it. I just know
Really,
of
you never
it.
you
Yeah.
just know about it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you're proving yourself worthy here. Alrighty, next show. Ready? Now, not
Yeah.
all of these are cartoons.
Oh, I might have some trouble then, but I'm willing.
They're just obscure shows.
Are they children shows usually, or like sort of family
They're
shows?
usually like family shows.
Okay, cool. I have a chance.
Yeah, you have a chance here. I'm sure you'll at least have an idea about this one.
Okay.
This one's pretty recent, but it only had like one season. I'll give you
Okay.
that much. Okay, ready?
Uh-huh.
Going Cyril. Go.
I don't know the show. Going Cyril?
Cyril. S-I.
I have never heard of it. You've beaten me already.
Have you ever heard of Duck Dynasty?
Are we? Oh, is this the next one, or is this?
Do what?
Is this the next?
No. I'm asking you. Have you ever heard of Duck Dynasty?
Yeah. Oh, is it a spin-off show with Psy?
It is. It's a
Oh.
spin-off show with Psy.
Can't say I've heard of that. Didn't know he had
You've
one.
never heard of Going Cyril, but you have heard of Duck Dynasty, right?
I have. I'm familiar with him
Okay.
and the character, but I'm not familiar
Okay.
with the spin-off.
Okay.
That's funny.
Okay. Next show.
Okay.
Didn't mean to throw you a curveball that early.
Hey, no worries.
Okay. Here we go. You might have less trouble with this one. Okay. So this one is not what it seems. Okay.
Wait. What's the show called?
What, the Duck Dynasty one?
No. What's the? Oh, I thought you told me the title of the next show.
No, no.
Oh, I thought you said the title was "It's Not What It Seems."
Oh, no.
So I was like, I've never heard of that either.
No, okay. This next show is not what it seems on the surface. I'll explain it a little bit, and then I'll say go, and I'll start the timer. Okay. Veggie Tales, but the 2006 NBC Cubo version. Go.
Oh well, I remember that. They would chop up the episodes sometimes. You'd go to Bob's house. There was Mail Time with Jimmy Gord. What else about the show can I say? Man, I can't think of another fact. I know exactly what you're talking about.
You got
course, but
that's
I can't.
3 things so far. You say it had chopped up versions.
Okay.
You got 30 seconds. Close to 30 seconds.
There was an episode where they used Dave and the Giant Pickle.
Okay.
Does that count as a fact?
You got anything else?
I can't really say much else about it except I remember, of course, it existed. I remember it vaguely. Yeah.
Okay. We'll count it. That
Cool.
did happen in the show, so we'll count it. Dave and the Giant Pickle.
Great. That counts. They did chop up the episodes, right?
Yeah, they did. They cut them short. Fun fact, Phil Vischer wasn't aware that NBC was removing parts of the show that had an obvious Christian point of view.
Right, I was gonna say that's what I meant. It was like they cut out the Christian points.
Right, yeah, and Phil, he even came out and said that if he would have known that, he wouldn't have even signed the contract with NBC.
Yeah. But then I think they did put them back in, I think.
Yeah, oddly enough, though, like they wouldn't have him say "God made you special" at the end, but for some reason, some of the episodes would even play the Bible stories, which was very strange. Okay, next show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 4 things. Now they're getting a little bit more obscure, maybe a little more
I'm ready.
difficult, but this is animation.
Okay.
The Earthworm Jim cartoon. Go.
Earthworms, Jim, the soil he did crawl. Yeah, that existed. That theme song. I remember a bit of it. Clearly,
That counts.
if that counts.
That's
I
a
think
point.
Jim Cummings played. No, not Jim Cummings. That guy who played Homer played Earthworm Jim, right?
You'll have to give me his name, because
I don't. Hank Azaria.
I honestly don't know.
Okay, no worries. I think Hank Azaria played him. You don't have to count that because I could be wrong about all that.
Okay.
It was based on the video game. If I'm allowed to count that as a point, you may have said
Yep.
that.
Yeah, you can say that.
It's about like a earthworm who's in like a super suit, right? Like saving people or whatever in space.
Right? You got one more.
Um,
You got one more.
Isn't there Princess What's Her Face? Isn't that what her name is? Princess What's Her Name or Princess What's Her Face?
You got it the second time. Princess,
Okay.
what's her name?
Got it. Okay.
Alrighty, that's 4 things. Turns out.
What were they?
Okay. Earthworm Jim was voiced from here, anyways. He was voiced by Dan
Castellaneta. You're right.
Yeah, whatever his name is.
Dan Castellaneta. That's
Right.
the guy who voices Homer Simpson. Yep.
Okay. But I mean, but you still got 4 either way, max. You got 4.
Okay.
You got 4. You told me it was based on a video game. You told me the theme song, which I didn't know. You told me the plot, and you said the name of the princess. So either way, that's 4 things.
Okay. Great.
Alrighty. Awesome.
It's funny.
You're doing good so far. You've only missed one show, and that was because I threw a curveball.
No worries.
Alrighty.
It's funny. This is good.
Alrighty. Next one. Now, we're sticking with the video game theme for this next one.
Uh-oh.
Okay. The Rayman animated series. Go.
You're just having... Did that exist? I'm just now having, like, flashbacks of that thing maybe existing.
It did exist. It did indeed exist.
Okay. Well, it's based on a video game.
Okay, that's a point.
The main character is, like, he has no arm. He just has hands and legs.
Okay, we'll give it. That's a point.
It's, that's all I got, man. I don't know anything about this show.
Can you just take a spitball at the plot at all?
It was CGI, right?
It was CG.
Okay, I'm getting these vague memories, and I'm assuming he just protected his like land or something, but I honestly don't remember.
Okay, we'll stop it right there.
I've barely heard of this.
You got 15 seconds. If you want to just keep going.
No, I can't think of anything.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You got 3 points on that one.
I'll take it, but that's funny. You just jogged my memory that I vaguely remember hearing about that, but I know like nothing about it.
Yeah, I honestly,
wow.
I
or
really
maybe I don't
didn't
even know
either.
that existed. I want to look that up later. That's
I remember somebody did a video on it years ago, and I saw that it was a thing. My timer thing is going off. I hear you.
No worries.
Yeah, so
that's funny.
So apparently the plot. Now I haven't played too many Rayman games, but from the ones I did, I don't think this has anything to do with the game at all, other than the characters. Rayman, he joins the circus. And these circus performers are like, they're like being held prison by an evil ringleader, and he has to help them escape. And then now they're like fugitives who live on another planet. They've escaped, and now they just have to avoid being caught by the bad guy, something like that.
Man,
it's really weird.
I don't know if I've ever heard of this. I didn't know that existed.
There were only 4 episodes produced.
Oh, well, that explains it.
That explains it big time.
You said it was CGI. What year was this?
1999.
Wow, I'm intrigued.
Yeah. Apparently,
Color me impressed.
It was released on VHS in North America, and the only DVD of it is in France. From what I've read, this is on Wikipedia.
I think the creator of Rayman is French, right?
Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, no worries.
But that would explain.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a French. It says it's a French Canadian series, and
yeah,
I thought it might have been aired in Nickelodeon at one point, but from what I'm reading here, I think I don't think it has. It says 13 to. This is a vast number. Maybe they didn't have a concrete source, but apparently 13 to 26 episodes were ordered and were planned, but it was canceled
Right,
mid-series,
and it got
and
canceled.
only 4 episodes were ever made. And
Was it?
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I wonder who animated it. Was it same people who did the Donkey Kong show, being French Canadian?
And you see, I was wondering. I don't think so. Let me see here.
Was it like motion captured? I wonder.
I don't know. From what I saw, though, of it, it looked really. I think the Donkey Kong cartoon might have looked better. I don't.
Wow, I'm intrigued. Yeah. Color me. I'm gonna look that up later.
Yeah, it was definitely a thing that happened.
You got me. You got me with one. Or that, like the Psy one, you got me too. But this one, wow.
Okay, so you ready for this next one?
So I got 3 points on that, right?
You got 3 points.
That's funny. And yeah, I'm ready.
Alrighty, here we go. Next one. Now, this one, just like the going Cyril thing, think of the title. Think of the name. It might help you get an idea of where this came from.
Okay.
Blues Room. Go.
Oh, it's the spinoff of Blue's Clues. That's one.
That's
it's
one.
Puppets. That's 2. They Could Talk. That's 3. Right?
Right?
Or Blue Could Talk. I mean, that's
Right.
3. And I said Puppets, Blue's Clues spinoff. Blue Could Talk. Didn't he have like a talking couch?
Let me look.
I think he had a talking chair, or at least it had a face.
Silly Seat.
So is that 4?
It's a chair that tells a joke. So yeah, we'll count it. That's 4.
Woohoo! I grew up with that.
Really? Okay. Yeah.
Yep. I vaguely remember it.
You see, that was something that I had that I just kind of thought about. I was like, oh yeah, that was that weird show. Literally,
But I forgot about it. It's funny you'd like that was a throwback, man. I remember it, but I haven't thought about it in years.
You know, the funny thing is when I pull these shows up on their Wikipedia pages, there's like no pictures of them.
Right, like no info.
Right, yeah. Literally in my notes, it's funny what you said and the way you worded things, because I literally, in my notes, I described it as this: a strange live-action puppet animated hybrid show similar to Bear in the Big Blue House, but starring Blue from Blue's Clues. She talks and it's weird.
Yeah.
She talks and it's weird.
And it's weird. I had a toy, like an animatronic little like dancing robot toy,
right?
Of Blue, that was based on that show, and it would I could talk, did that sort of thing.
Yeah, the blue I was most familiar with was the
the classic Blue. Yeah,
I was like, I don't know why
the
Blue's
way
talking
she
here.
should be.
Yeah, it was a weird one.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder who. I mean, I have to imagine Nickelodeon pushed that to be made instead of the actual Blue's Clues creators.
Right, yeah, most
I can't
definitely.
imagine they were like, we need to dive into Blue talking.
Yeah. Speaking of throwbacks, even in my description for it, Bear in the Big Blue House. How about that?
Yeah,
You
is that
remember
one of the shows, or are we?
No, that's not part of the game. I just brought it up.
Yeah.
That was
Again, another one of those shows. I know of its existence, but I don't know how much I could tell you except
Oh, man.
basic facts. You know?
Maybe I should have included it, but I didn't think it was all that
Right.
obscure.
Well, I could have named some enough, I think, but
Yeah.
I didn't see it much.
That was one of my favorite shows growing up. I
that's
had
cool.
the tape was blue, I believe.
Really?
So speaking of colorful
That makes
tapes,
sense, though,
the
for
tape
Blue
was
House.
right? And then
It's
I
fun.
got to drawing the parallels between it and this weird Blue's Clues spinoff, and I was like, but it's blue too.
Yeah, right. Everything is blue.
Yeah, everything is blue. Okay, moving on. Now, these shows, I said the titles of them to you last conversation. They're probably pretty obscure today. So I'm gonna pull up.
Okay.
Let me pull up my notes and everything. Okay.
So we talked about these the other day. You said.
I said the titles of them the other day, and then when
Got it.
when you said you didn't know anything about them at the time, I didn't know if you looked any of them up.
I don't know.
Okay, well let's see if you can say at least 4 things about these shows.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Story Keepers, go.
Story Keepers. You said this was... Oh, are these all going to be Christian? Oh, no. Just because I don't remember
This
too
one
many
is.
of those that well. I don't know. Oh, I'm having vague... Is this a puppet show?
No.
Oh, then I don't know anything about this. It's a Christian show.
So here's the next one. Little Dogs on the Prairie, go.
You told me about this the other day. This was Christian, you
Mhm.
said, I think. And it's... I imagine it's about... Is it a spin-off of Little House on the Prairie, I imagine?
No.
Oh, okay. Then I imagine it's about little dogs. You
Uh,
don't have to count that. Oh man, I'm trying to just. I imagine it's 2D animated.
Okay, yep, it's a 2D cartoon.
That's just a guess.
Well, we'll count it.
Did you tell me it was animated before? Because that might have been a.
I mean, even if I did before, this was knowledge you had prior to the game.
Sure, but I meant like when we started the game. I thought you said I don't have any of the facts about it, so it's okay.
No, I haven't talked about
But,
this. I haven't talked about this show at all today.
Oh, okay, I thought you said the rest of these are 2D animated, so I didn't know if.
No, I never
that
said.
counted.
No, I never said that.
Oh, okay, good. So we'll go with that. I'll go with Christian and 2D animated.
Okay, and your time is
That's
now
all I
up.
have.
That's 2 points. Okay.
Can't say I know much about that one.
Oh, fun fact about it though, there is a little prairie dog. It's a little girl prairie dog. It's about prairie dogs.
Right.
And her name is Darcy.
I picked up on that.
Her name is Darcy, and she is voiced by the voice of Emily Elizabeth from Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Oh!
You know the main little girl who owns Clifford?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
now.
it's her voice.
That's funny.
Yeah.
She was in a lot of other shows, wasn't she? Vicky. In
Well, now that you mention it, yeah, I think so. At least she sounds just
That's
like
funny.
her in my head.
Right, I think that was her. That's funny.
Hello again. It is I, text-to-speech man. Actually, there is no solid confirmation on the internet that Grey Delisle voiced Darcy, even though they sound exactly alike. However, it is confirmed that Debbie Derryberry, the voice of Jimmy Neutron, provides the voice for a prairie dog named Sport and the Little Dogs on the Prairie. Pretty neat.
Okay. So 2 on that one. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we're getting more into the void of weirdness.
No return.
Obscure. Yeah, the point of no
Yeah.
return on it. Here we go.
Let's go.
Are you ready? Okay.
Yeah.
Title. This is the title. A Little Curious. Go.
A little curious.
A Little Curious.
That's a good grab because I have no idea. I guess again I'll just play my safe bets. Is it Christian?
Not to my knowledge.
Is it 2D animated?
No.
I don't know. A little curious.
So you have no knowledge of this show at all?
I have no knowledge of this show. You can call it there because I have no knowledge.
Okay. Do you want me to keep the time going, see if anything jogs your memory?
Nah, you can end it.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
out. I don't know.
Okay, so when we're done here, you need to look up A Little Curious. This was one of
Okay.
the weirdest shows that was just shown to me. This was the reason I started recording later, is because my wife was like, "Oh, hey, obscure shows, look this up." And I was like,
Okay.
"Wow."
Write it down.
It's called A Little Curious, and it really just looks like somebody got a computer that can do CG and just had fun with it. Just started playing around with CG. I mean,
is this that kid show with like the nursery rhymes? It's really like old.
it's a
rare-
it's an HBO family children's show.
Oh, HBO. Okay.
Yeah,
Then I'm thinking of something else.
it's HBO family, and it
Okay.
stars and here Here was what I was like, oh, wow, what a clever name. One of the main characters of the show is a red ball with a face, and his name is Bob.
Oh,
Bob,
great.
Bob the Ball. And I was like, that's pretty original right there.
What's
But
it about then?
it doesn't have a storyline from what I can tell. It's just like a I don't know.
That's funny.
I watched
I'll
one.
look it up later.
I watched like half of an episode that my wife was showing me, and I was like, "What is going on?" It picks a theme. Like the one I watched was all about light and dark, like turning on the
Okay.
light, turning the light off,
Right.
and all the other characters consist of a actual pair of shoes. It's like a family of pairs of shoes,
Nice.
and they're like real, and they're like kind of stop motion, and they like move around, and they're a
Oh.
family. And one of them was about the little baby pair of shoes, the little pair of New Balances or whatever, was scared of the dark. And they're like,
Nice.
"Daddy, brown dress shoes, can you turn the lights off?" Daddy Clark's or whatever.
That's
and
funny.
this pair of dress shoes comes in and is like, "Okay, but I'll turn the night light on." And then they end up turning like a million night lights on or something. And then there's like a
Wow.
mop and a door and a cup and a string. They're all characters and
That's
and
funny.
a
I'll have to
notepad,
look this up.
and a pencil that are in a relationship.
Yeah. Well, I
I
mean,
mean-
who else would be? But those
Right,
two.
right. I mean, surely not the mop and the ball, right?
The shoe.
Right,
Yeah,
or
no.
you're right. So yeah,
that would, because that wouldn't make sense.
that was one of the trippiest shows I think I'd ever seen. One of them.
I'll admit, I'm just a little curious.
Yeah.
But yeah, add that along with it. Add the laugh track. I demand the laugh track.
Okay. Okay, I'll fill it in.
But like it goes on inappropriately like one time.
Like it's still happening right now. It's
yeah, as
it's
we
laughing
speak.
over us right now.
Right.
And then shh. Okay, they stopped. Okay.
Okay. Phew. Finally, back to peace.
Okay. Next obscure show. We got to move on.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. Ready?
This is gonna be like horrible to edit. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's okay. it's okay. Okay, the big comfy couch. Go.
Oh, this thing. Has to do with this annoying, whiny little brat girl and some puppet, and they hang out with a couch. And that's it. I
Wait,
guess it aired on PBS.
say it again.
Okay, it's about a girl on a couch with some sock puppet. It aired on PBS. They hang out on a couch. It's really all I got.
Okay, I'll give you girl and couch, and they hang out on a couch.
Okay, wasn't there a sock, or not a sock puppet? There's like a puppet, right?
Yes, we'll give you that
Okay.
because I'll go ahead and tell you it was a doll, but she
Yeah,
moves
okay,
around like
now
a
I got
puppet.
it.
Somebody's
Got it,
moving her
yeah.
around or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3 points.
It's actually 4 because it aired on PBS, where everything is sponsored by Juicy Juice.
I'll take it.
Big comfy
The less
couch.
we have to talk about that show, the better.
Yeah, do you remember it? The clown girl?
No, but I know of it, and I remember not liking it.
Okay.
That's funny. Did you watch it?
That was one of the shows my wife showed me. She was like,
Got it.
I had never seen it air on TV before, but I remember, she said she remembers being at like her Nana's house, and she was like going through a box of VHS tapes and found it as a kid and was watching it, and she was like, "This is really weird, but it's fun."
Yeah,
But yeah,
I
from
mean,
what
could
I
be good.
watched,
I have
it was-
no idea.
from what I watched,
work
it
on
was-
I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, you had to be a kid to watch it and enjoy it because it's
Yeah.
otherwise it's like, yeah, yeah. Okay, Okay.
That's funny.
alrighty. Next show.
Oh, there's another. I thought that was the last one.
Oh no, nope. We still got 2 more.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, ready?
Mhm.
Crash Box. Go.
Crashbox. Huh. Does it have to do with cars?
Nope.
Crashbox. Is it? It's not the Crash Test Dummies, is it?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I'm not familiar with this one. You got me, man. You really got me on some of these.
Are you stopping it right there? You throwing in the towel
All right,
on that one?
I'll admit, yeah, I'll throw in the towel. I honestly don't know.
Alrighty. Crashbox, if you didn't know, is a Canadian-American educational children's show. It was also on HBO Family.
Ah.
And from what I've seen, me and my wife were watching it. That was another one she showed me. And it's about these robots who live inside a computer who put in these little green game cartridges. And they'll put it inside the computer, and it starts up like a brain teaser game. And so so it's like 30 minutes of like brain teasers and things like that, and like riddles. And it's got like math games. One of them was like they'll dust off a picture of a celebrity or a historical figure or somebody, and you have to figure out who it is before it's over. You know.
That's giving me just the idea of like CGI computers in like a computer and they're aware of it.
It's like or go ahead. It's like stop motion.
Oh, it's stop motion?
Yeah, it's stop motion.
Oh, there was an old CGI show. It used to air on ABC. What was it called? It was called what was it called? It was CGI. It was pretty impressive for the time. It was really old for CGI, but it was about these guys in like a virtual world and they had to like save it. And oh man, why can't I remember?
That was actually I don't remember the name of it right now, but I think that was one of the shows that we almost put in. But I thought it was like impossible though. Like I thought nobody was gonna get that.
It's called like Cyborg, right, or something like that.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was called, but I know it's not Cyber Chase.
No, that's I know what that is.
I knew it was. When I heard about it, I was like, so it's not Cyber Chase.
No, but I remember there was actually one fact I know about that show, if I can, for 1 second.
Go ahead.
Was that it was animated by the same people who did the Money for Nothing music video, if you know what that is.
I've never heard it or seen it, but that was one of the facts that she read about it when we were going over them.
Yeah, they were the same animation studio that did that music video, the famous music video. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it said it was in 94 or something, so it was like a year before Toy Story and a year after VeggieTales.
The show was in 94, I think. Yeah. There used to be ads for it at the beginning of Schoolhouse Rock videotapes, I remember.
Really?
Yeah, so that's the only way I knew of it, you know?
Yeah, I didn't know anything about it.
That's funny.
I knew nothing about a few of these shows.
That's what it's making me think of, though.
Yeah?
This other show you're talking about.
Alrighty, so we've got one more show.
Okay.
Now, I saved
I need to redeem myself.
Okay, so I've saved the best for last.
Okay.
You might have heard of this one before. I mean, it's pretty obscure. It's pretty out there. But it just sounded like such a fun thing to talk about. I saved it for the last. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Alrighty. We're going back to the video games. It's called King Koopa's Cool Cartoons. Go.
Wow, I have not heard of this. You got me.
All with K's.
I imagine it's some sort of similar style to the Super Mario shows, the cartoons, the Deke shows. Deke Animation Studio, I mean. King Koopa's Cool Cartoons? I just imagine it has to do with King Koopa, and it's maybe animated by Deke, and yeah, that's all I got, based on Mario.
Okay, it's not animated, but you're close to, I think you're close in who produced. Let me look. But no, it's no.
It's not animated?
No, but it is King Koopa.
Oh my goodness, I have to look this up later too, because this sounds really weird. I don't know it. I'll give up. I honestly don't know it.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
King Koopa's Cool Cartoons? Is that what you said?
Yep. And it's all spelt with a K.
But it's not animated?
Nope, it is not animated. And I was going to give you a point for saying it had something to do with cartoons, but you said the Mario cartoons. Here's the fun fact about it. Okay. The whole show is a fun fact. The whole show.
You don't even have to count any of those points because I said like video game, but you already kind of told me that. So
Well, you said King
you
Koopa.
take
You
what
said
you
King
want
Koopa.
points there.
We'll go with it.
But that was in the title, so you take what you
I'll
want.
take it. I did say you have to
That's
name at
funny.
least a character in the show, and that was a character.
Wow. There you go.
Okay. So King Koopa's Cool Cartoons is a live-action show similar to Bozo the Clown, starring King Koopa from the Super Mario Super Show, except it's live action. It's a guy in like a rubber mask with this like king suit or whatever.
Okay,
like
I gotta
this
look up
suit.
this.
Well, he's got like a jacket and a bow tie, and he looks like the devil.
Wow.
And he would give away prizes like Nintendo themed prizes, like the wonderful Power Glove.
That is weird.
Yeah, he would give away like Nintendo themed prizes, and but however, you know, it's got cool cartoons in the name. But the problem is it wouldn't air anything to do with Mario. There were no Mario cartoons aired on it. Instead, it was like Muppet Babies or something.
I'm looking this up now. Would play cartoons from the 1920s and 30s, which were in the public domain. That is weird.
And none of them were Mario related. For some reason, none of them were the Mario or Nintendo cartoons. None of them were. And
that is so weird.
And a fun fact that I had wrote down for it, the source of this comes from a tweet from Forest of Illusion.
Okay.
And they said, fun fact, King Koopa's Cool Cartoons was booted off of Fox after Koopa received a letter from an angry kid that was insulting. Koopa faced the camera, waved the envelope in the air, and said, "Okay, you can say all you want about me, but I know where you live," while laughing. The show was immediately canceled.
That's so weird. Was this live?
They said after this incident, the show's production stopped and was never aired again, and that was a quote from the Forest of Illusion Twitter account.
That is so weird. Who knew? I
believe
it, but I didn't. Where'd you even hear about this?
So, I think I heard about this like forever ago, but it was just like, you know, I think I was like like when I heard about Mario cartoons, you know, I was like, okay, so what were all the Nintendo themed shows? And, you know, I pulled up Super Show, Mario 3, Mario World, Zelda. Do you remember Captain N?
Captain N. Yeah, the Game Master.
The Game Master. And one of them was King
Not related
Koopa's...
to the Page Masters.
Right, yeah. And one of them was King Koopa's Cool Cartoons, and that was intriguing. And it was just like a thing that came and went, like immediate, like just as soon as it got up there, it was taken off.
That is so weird.
And apparently it was only filmed, from what I'm reading on Wikipedia, it says it was only broadcast in Southern California.
Wow.
Like between 1989 and 1990, and that was it. And then before it could get spread out anywhere else, it was canceled.
That is such an obscure take. That's weird.
Okay, so if I was correct,
you weren't.
You got 25.
26.
No! I'm a failure. My PhD is worthless.
Well,
that's funny.
I did throw you some curveballs in there.
No. This was the name of the game, man, and you won.
You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You said at least something about 8 shows.
You really did.
So that's still pretty good, though.
Because some of those I was very familiar with, and then some of them just completely like new to me.
Well, I was reaching. I was scraping the bottom of the barrel for these.
That's really good, though. Good job.
So officially, I have defeated the obscure media master.
Yeah, really. I have to hang my coat.
And you're gonna have to go out and buy more laser discs or something.
Yeah, exactly. I'll find more obscure video and find more obscure television.
Hey, if you ever get a chance, do a video on King Koopa's cool cartoons.
God, I don't think I want to touch that. That's so weird sounding.
I know it. Just looking at it, you're like, okay, I gotta go take a shower or something.
Exactly. I'll leave that to someone else to deal with.
I know the King Koopa mascot that nobody asked for that threatened children.
Yeah, really. Who decided King Koopa was a good idea for a mascot? Why not
I
like
don't- like, why-
Toad? Or
Why wasn't it Mario?
if you didn't want to go with one of the main characters, why not like Toad?
At
Weird.
least he's appealing looking.
Toad? You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
that's so
I mean,
weird.
but then again, they could have definitely messed Toad up too. Just like because I mean,
especially with those eyes. Oh, they could have made
yeah,
it look really
they could have
off.
really messed that up. Maybe
Yeah.
it should have been like Yoshi or something. I don't know.
Right with that baby voice. I'm a Luigi.
Yeah.
Let's watch a cartoon.
Oh man. Yeah. Let's not. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
man, that's
Like,
weird.
Luigi,
Good-
let's
good
not
pick.
watch Mario. Let's watch Mama Luigi. Let's watch Muppet Babies.
Yeah, really. That's funny.
If I'm not mistaken, that was the same voice of Diddy Kong, wasn't it, in the Donkey Kong cartoon?
Oh, I don't know.
The guy who
that
did
sounds
Yoshi?
Right. That sounds right. That sounds. Thinking about their voices, that sounds like it.
Yeah, I think it was.
Eh, who knew? Well, you did. Shall we move on to our next segment?
Yes, we certainly will. That was fun. That was.
That
fun.
was. Thank you for
That was fun.
putting me
Hey-
up to that challenge.
Maybe come back again and we'll see if we can have a round 2.
Right. Well, vice versa. We'll reverse it. I'll pick shows.
Okay.
Oh no.
I'm game.
Ooh.
Alrighty.
Challenges accepted.
We need to make the trophy a golden water bottle.
Oh yeah, we'll paint a water bottle gold, send it to each other. Someone in like the mail, like somehow the package will get opened up. Be like, oh, what's this? We gotta repackage. Is that a gold? Who? What? Who's sending this?
Don't worry. I will still you still deserve the at least the silver water bottle.
A silver water bottle. I'll take it.
At least. Maybe
That's
I
funny.
scored it. Maybe I set the bar a little
Nah.
little
man.
unfair.
That was those are good, man. You really got me with those.
Alrighty.
I got that Rayman show. I gotta say that one along with the Koopa were the two biggest shockers. I gotta look that Rayman show up
Honestly, they shocked me when I first heard about them.
later.
Though once you watch a little curious,
Right.
I mean, I don't know
You'll
what
never be the same.
I don't know what tops what in like the weirdest.
That's fun.
I don't know what tops what, but this will definitely be fun. This was fun.
This was fun. Thank you.
Thank you for playing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much
what-
for playing my game.
You're right. Oh, sorry, this is complete. Somebody brought this up. Sorry, this is gonna go back to just talking sort of thing.
It's okay.
Somebody brought up the fact that can Mario read?
Can Mario read?
Was there ever a game, not counting like sometimes he'll walk up to a sign and it'll show you, but we don't know if he's reading it. Can Mario read? Is there ever a game where Mario can read?
Like Mario's
so-
just kind of looking at the sign and he's like,
Just
yeah,
staring
like just
at it.
pretending like he knows what he's
Yeah.
doing.
And somebody immediately brought up the CDI game, the Dear Pesky Plumbers, but apparently that doesn't count because it's not official.
I guess it's not
Nintendo.
canon. Yeah, Nintendo
Yeah.
technically
I
didn't
also
make
thought,
it, and they
I also
refused
thought
to
about-
acknowledge it.
I also thought about Mario teaches typing, but that probably fall into the same category.
I don't know. I mean, if the guy can teach us how to type, surely he can teach us how
Right?
to read.
Surely he can read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if he can start a whole curriculum about typing, surely he can read.
But I'm not sure if they'd even count that.
I don't know.
So I don't know, man.
But that's a
gotta
hilarious
research.
point.
Yeah.
I
Can
never thought.
Mario read.
So he's just looking at these signs like, yes, yes, okay.
I understand this way, everyone. And Luigi knows. He's like, oh great.
Oh boy.
Well, he
Oh,
doesn't know where we're going. He thinks he knows what's going on.
And so they started talking about the lore of Super Mario. Now, I will bring you back into the conversation without context for giggles.
I'm having a lovely wedding with the King Koopa.
Yeah, like she
And his
actually
cool
wanted.
cartoons.
Yeah. Yeah. Mario, I have to marry Bowser. His cartoons are so cool with a capital K.
So cool.
Oh
maybe
boy.
Mario, maybe if you had cool cartoons, but you know.
Yeah. Alrighty.
That's how I'll get my wife. I'll be you know, I'll be like, I watch cool
Show
cartoons.
her Muppet Babies. Then she will. She'll never leave you.
That's the ultimate.
That's better
card.
than that's better than any expensive cologne or being sensitive or anything. That
Or
was
love. No, just Muppet Babies.
Muppet Babies. Show her that, and you're irresistible.
They make our dreams come true.
Show her Muppet Babies, and you're immediately irresistible.
Yeah.
Put that on the.
Go on the DVD.
Go on The
box set.
Bachelor.
If you buy this DVD box set.
Go on The Bachelor and don't say anything. Just hold the Muppet Babies DVD in your hand.
Yeah, it's immediately. Wow, I can't believe we just know so much about love. I can't believe it. We're so smart.
Man,
really
we should just turn this into a dating advice podcast.
Yeah, exactly. The John B talks about love and Muppet Babies. Oh, I love it. This is the sort of stuff people want in their podcast.
Oh yeah. Most definitely. Okay, moving on. We got to move on.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so just like the last show, we're moving on to our next segment, which is Strange Things I Found at the Flea Market. Yes, I need a little jingle to go with that. Just like the intro, I need to just randomly hit keys on a keyboard and have an intro for that. I need to have That's all the intro to this podcast is. It's just random notes being hit on a virtual keyboard.
I have to go back to listen to it. That's funny.
So, do you wanna start us off with Strange Things I Found at the Flea Market?
Sure, absolutely. This is a few years back now, but me and my dad, we sometimes, and we still do now, and then we just don't get to do it as often, but we would go to this area that was really crowded. We don't tend to go there very often, but they have a lot of thrift stores, so we sometimes go there, and we came across Garfield wrapping paper. You can put this up on screen if you want to, but we came across Garfield wrapping paper, and in fact, I'm pulling the image up. I have it. I bought it, but I remember looking at it in the store. I've already mentioned, big fan of Garfield in this podcast, but I was looking at it, I was like, oh, I really want that, but it's kind of stupid, so probably not. And then my dad said, yeah, we should get it. And I'm like, okay, done.
No, it's beautiful.
It's great. And let's take a look at some of this. First off, copyright 1978, 79, and 1980. So it's probably from 1980, which is, you can definitely tell from Garfield's design, it's the retro.
So not only is it a meme, it's a vintage meme.
It's a vintage meme. Look at Odie. Odie looks so different here.
Let me look at it.
Yeah.
Look at this image you sent me.
And Garfield's hilarious thought bubble. Who put pine needles in my bed?
Oh, wow.
And Garfield looking at miscolored Nermal. Nermal's usually gray, but here, Nermal's pink. Darn, I was hoping for a puppy.
Man.
That's sassy
way to
Garfield.
Disrespect Odie like that.
Right, yeah.
Like, disrespect.
You already have.
You already got a puppy, man.
Yeah. Well, he's a dog. He's too old to be a puppy, I guess.
Well, that's true. Maybe he's old now.
Yeah. They're all old now. Garfield's like 40 now.
Well, that was yeah. Garfield's probably the oldest cat in the world.
Right. But I love this wrapping paper. It's great. I'm never going to use it on anything. I folded it up back in its wrapping.
What are you talking about? I demand you send me the golden water bottle wrapped in Garfield Christmas wrapping.
Yes, that's how we play, right? And I'll send you the rest of it. You can wrap the one up to me.
I'll just rewrap it in the same wrapping paper.
Great.
I'll save it.
Right? No, but I love it. I put it back in its like original fold, like little clear case, and I just put it up on a shelf, and it's just sitting there.
That's great.
It's great though. I love it. It's such a retro looking Garfield too. It's really funny that because I think Garfield's. Oh, now I'm curious. I think Garfield started in like 76, so this wasn't that far after he just started.
Yeah, so that's pretty old. So that's like if you're a Garfield fan, that's like a collector's item.
This is 2 years later.
Right. So that's like a collector's item, right?
Yeah, I'm happy with it. I think it's neat on a shelf, you know.
But you don't find that every day.
No,
that's not something you just find every day.
Because who keeps wrapping paper? They use it. You know?
Right. They must have either been collectors or just
did.
was like, I don't know, throw in the wrapping paper.
Yeah, I'm glad somebody kept it and gave it away to that thrift store that day.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, that is my thrift story.
Thrift story. Why don't you write my titles for my segments?
Right, yeah, I just keep you're like, I need a segment about love. Muppet Babies. Done. I did it.
Alrighty, so for my strange things at the flea market that I found at the flea market, I've got two VHS oddities.
Ooh.
Keeping with the theme
Tickles my
of this
fancy.
podcast,
I do like
right?
VHS tapes.
Right. So in honor of you being here on the show, I've got two VHSs that I found at the flea market. This first one is a cartoon that we talked about earlier. I got Donkey Kong Country: The Legend of the Crystal Coconut.
Oh, that's so cool! Nice.
Yeah.
Is that the Paramount release?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm looking at the cover right now.
That's sweet.
The funny thing about this is that it plays episodes from the Donkey Kong Country cartoon, which is already a fantastic meme of itself.
Yeah.
But it plays them like it's got this narrative where it tries to make it a movie.
Them.
Yeah, it's structured like it's a movie, but the problem is they're out of order, and they're obviously out of order. Like, they try to make it fit like a movie and say this happened, okay, and then this happened. But the problem is in one episode, somebody, I haven't watched it in forever, but somebody has a flashback. It might have been Diddy Kong, has a flashback of Donkey Kong, and the flashback is from an earlier episode. Well, the funny thing is later on, that exact episode happens after that one. And so
that is so weird.
Yeah, so it's all obviously out of order. So not only is it this show, which would already make it amazing, but they're all out of order, told in this narrative. Donkey Kong's narrating it, and he's talking as if all of this is fact. This happened right after this event.
Yeah.
But
that's funny.
And the episodes typically don't have anything to do with each other. Like, it doesn't it doesn't follow one cohesive narrative. It's like just episodes. It's all different 30-minute narratives put into one.
And I'm not sure if this is true. This is more where we get conspiracy theory here. But I've heard apparently the original scripts for the Donkey Kong cartoon were like really filthy and not family friendly. So people had to then rewrite them and rework them.
Really? But that's interesting you say that, because I remember watching some of it and it honestly making me uncomfortable as a kid, because I was like, this is kind of weird. My second VHS tape oddity I found was I found it at the flea market recently, and it's an old Star Wars VHS, but it's not like any of the movies. It's a cartoon spin-off, and it's called Star Wars Animated Classics Droids: The Pirates and the Prince. I knew nothing about this. I picked it up and I sent it to a friend of mine who knows a lot about Star Wars, and he was telling me how it's a pretty uncommon show.
Cool.
Yeah, he said, let me see here. Let me see what he said about it. He said it was from the 80s, and it came out right after Return of the Jedi. And he said it was a Saturday morning cartoon starring R2-D2 and C-3PO. He said, and there was also an Ewoks cartoon that was released alongside it around the same time. And so I thought that was pretty interesting for any Star Wars fans out there. And I picked it up and I sent it to him. He has it now.
Do you happen to know what company made the tape? Is it in the photo?
No, it's not.
Okay,
worries. It's not on the front cover. So let's move on. Looks like we're going to wrap things up here, and let's wrap it up with some recommendations. Would you like to start us off?
Sure. I suggest the band, the W's. They're a little-known band. They only have 2 albums. They were around in the 90s. You might know them for the Rumor Weed song, the credits version.
Right, yeah.
I really like the band. They're kind of a swing, sort of jazzy band. Not much is out about them, but I really do enjoy them. They have 2 albums. I think they're both pretty good. I think they're on Spotify if you got that. If not, I just own the CDs. You might know them for The Devil Is Bad. That's one of their more popular songs.
After you had mentioned them, and I said I don't think I had heard about them. After I heard The Devil Is Bad, I remember hearing that all the time. Yeah, I just didn't know the name of the band.
You
But
probably
yeah,
had one of the WoW CDs.
oh yeah, I'm sure. I think we even have the video. I think we even have a music video of that somewhere on tape.
You have the video?
Yeah,
Wow.
I think we used
That's
to.
hard to find.
We
I'm
used,
not.
we used to show it in our youth group building. We used to show it a lot.
That's cool. I'm not. I think it might be online. That's like a really obscure cut as the video, supposedly.
Yeah,
I wasn't even sure if one existed. That's cool.
Yeah, I actually found it after we had talked last time. I even found this video. I'll send it to you. I found this video of them doing the Rumor Weed song live.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah, it's really cool. Though for some reason all the subtitles are in Spanish, but
Right.
But
I
it
think
was
you can
cool.
find it not in Spanish. I think I have that somewhere if you want that.
oh, okay, yeah, yeah. And I saw
That's
the
cool.
Bob and Larry mascots with arms and legs,
Yeah.
and that was a little weird. Okay, well, so if you haven't before, listen to the W's. They're a good jazz band. They're really good. If you like jazz
Even if
music.
you're not into jazz, give it a shot. I
Yeah.
would say.
Oh yeah,
Because I didn't know I really liked swing jazz music till I
like big
started
band
listening.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really
So.
good. So my recommendation is a show that we mentioned earlier in the game, Little Dogs on the Prairie.
Yeah.
Now, I'll try to make this brief, but I could go on and on about this show. This is, besides next to Veggie Tales, I think it's one of the best Christian animated cartoons.
That's cool. I've never heard of it. I'll admit, so maybe I'll look into it.
I definitely recommend you watch it. If you like that sort of dry sense of humor, it almost reminds me of Phineas and Ferb, like the sense of humor, that dry kind of,
right.
but it's really funny. I highly recommend you go watch it. It's made by a company called Fancy Monkey Studios, which is a wonderful name.
What year was this?
Let me look it up.
Approximately,
Let me look it up. Let me pull it up. I got it right here. Oh well. I can't find a year on it.
Somewhere around 2000.
There were only like 3 videos ever released for it.
3 collections of 3 or 2 episodes were made from DVD. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I remember I had it on VHS.
Yeah.
It's got all the great lessons that you expect from something like Veggie Tales, but the way they tell it is just it's so good and it's so funny. It's a really fun cartoon too. We've shown 2 of them to our children's church, and they really enjoy it. They really liked it.
I'll have to look into it. I looked it up. I already like the art style, how the characters look.
Yeah, and the animation too is really impressive. Because
it looks like it was made by a lot of the same people who did Adventures in Odyssey.
Yes, actually, it was. It was made by the same people, if I'm not mistaken.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I like Adventures in Odyssey.
yeah, it's a really good show. The first one, the one that's my favorite is the first one, Pride, Prejudice, and Fudge. It's hilarious.
I'll have to look it up. That sounds cool.
I'm out of water, so looks like we're out of time.
Yeah, so am I. I'm also out of water.
I'm out of water, so looks like we're out of time here.
Gotta paint them gold. Well, this was fun. Thanks for having me on. I really had a great time.
Oh yeah, man, me too. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for hooking up that game. That was a good time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I liked talking with you about rare media and just general goofy cartoons. It was fun.
Oh yeah, we had a lot of fun today. So be sure, if you haven't already, go to Pinata Time's YouTube channel and check out some of his VHS reviews. It's some great stuff.
I also do regular reviews, and I would suggest, if I'm to suggest videos, I suppose I recently did a video about Science Court, which was a show rarely heard of. I liked that video. So I suggest that.
Awesome, man. Well, all right, man. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much for listening to the John Talks About Stuff podcast. If you would like to submit a suggestion for a topic or a special guest, you can email me at johntalksaboutstuffshow@gmail.com. You can also follow me on Twitter. I'll have links and stuff for that in all the descriptions and such. You can follow me on Twitter at johnb_WC. And you can also follow me on Instagram at, let me remember my Instagram handle. Okay. You can also follow me on Instagram at JB_wounded chicken.
Wounded
That's about the response I get every time.
Wow. Poor wounded chicken. Poor guy.
We'll see you later on the internet. However we want to sign this off. How do we wanna do it?
Exactly. Go watch my videos.
Yeah.
That's you should end with like a shock scream of just watch my videos.
Okay.
No.
I'll edit it.
No.
But that's
Not
gonna
really.
be a little frightening for the
It's gonna scare the children.
right. Think of the children. For the
Think of
people
the children
the people
being
that
out
are
of
listening
time.
in their cars or something. Alrighty, man. Well, I had a lot of fun.
So did I. Thank you very much again.
Thank you for joining us.
I'll see you all over on my channel or something.
See you guys.
Go watch my videos.